G'day guys, welcome to Scotch Down Under. I'm Ken.
I'm Carly.
And I'm the cue ball.
And today we're going to go somewhere a little bit different.
Ooh.
A little exotic.
A little bit exotic, yeah.
Is it cold?
Sometimes. And it's hot too.
It's generally hot though.
Generally. But if you go up north a little bit, it can be a little bit colder.
Holy cow.
Is there someone famous there?
There's lots of famous people in this place.
They even have their own thriving film industry.
They do!
Hey!
India! With the Rampur Single Malt Whisky. So this is a single malt whiskey, and it's non-chill filtered, natural coloured, at 43%, which is
Still good.
pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, to have an Indian whiskey, which, you know, if you look at any of the charts of how much whiskey is produced in the world, India produces a shitload of whiskey. It's ridiculous amount of stuff that they're producing. So you would expect a lot of it to be mass-produced, just pushed out. Yeah, where it's so to have this as natural colour and non-chill filter is a thumbs up for that. So pretty chuffed about that. And 43% is a little bit low, but it is a single malt, so yeah, win-win.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Rampur, the actual distillery, wasn't originally known as Rampur, and the company that actually owns Rampur is called the Radiko Kalyan. I've completely butchered that. PT
Radiko Kaitan.
Yeah, Radiko Kaitan, that's it. And they're family owned, so the directors and the executives and all that, that's all the family.
Excellent.
They've been around since 1943. And originally the distillery was called Rampur, but now it's known as the company who owns them. So they've got two distilleries. They've still got the Rampur distillery, and then they've got another distillery. And between the two of them, they produce 157 million litres a year of spirit. Now, if you look at whiskies in Scotland, they're nowhere near that. These guys are the second biggest whiskey company in all of India.
That's huge.
Yeah. The Rampur itself produces 460 litres of just whiskey, but then they do 75 million litres a year of just molasses.
Wow.
And because the company itself makes a whole pile of vodkas and brandies.
And they make rums as well, don't they?
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
Which is why they're producing a lot of molasses.
Yep. And then they've been throughout their whole history for like 5 decades. They've been producing a whole bunch of stuff for other companies. So it wasn't until 1998 when they actually came out with their own stuff. Because before they were just making clean spirit and
flogging it off, and everyone else was doing what they do.
Stuff. Yep. And then they decided, no, let's make our own stuff. And the first one that came out in '98 was 8 p.m. which I've never heard of.
Well, it's a good time for a drink.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a really
For
good.
all we know, it could have been poured at 8 p.m.
I've got around just over 15 different expressions I've got. And since '98, every single year they're bringing out some expression of something, a vodka or a brandy or a rum or a whiskey. But yeah, these guys didn't bring this out until 2016, so this is fairly recent. Hasn't been around for too long.
Yeah.
They make some pretty elegant, sexy stuff. I mean, just the tube itself, it's got that gold on the top of the bottom, the gold on the lettering. It's a nice edging around the actual font itself. It's embossed on there. They got the twin swords, 1943 on there. It's all embossed, and at the back they've got a picture of the 15 gun salute, because they were an Indian occupied by the British Empire kind of deal. Yeah. So they're paying homage to that, and that's actually embossed on there, and it's all shiny and stuff as well, which is pretty funky and cool.
But I can't help but notice it's NAS.
Yes, it is an NAS. Yeah, we didn't mention that earlier. Yeah, it is an NAS. It's using different casks.
We say select vintage casks.
Select vintage casks. But yeah, on the top here, they got the cross swords or sabers on there. And then, when you open it,
It has a funny bag.
we got a cool bag with some little dangly bits. And
Tassels.
Tassels. And inside the tube, they've even got the cross swords.
That's attention to detail. Which,
Yeah.
you know, if they're doing that in their packaging, then their attention to detail with the whiskey itself must actually be quite good.
Yeah. And it's a really nice bag. And then even on the bag itself, they've got Rampur with the cross swords. on
Very
it as
stylish,
well.
very cool.
And on the bottle cap, I mean the
Stopper.
stopper, it's embossed bloody swords on there as well. The bottle itself is a nice shape, and then it's carried over in the same on the tube onto the bottle. But yeah, very nice presentation. I must admit.
And we have a batch number.
Oh, there we go.
So manufacturing date. Hang on.
Where's the
I think
glasses?
that's what it's short for. Yeah, manufacturing date. So I'm assuming that would be distillation or bottling. You think? Either way,
NAS, I would say it's
October
Distillation.
17.
Yep.
As
And
in
then-
2017, batch number 1465.
There you go. Right on then. Have a sniff.
Snuff.
I'm intrigued. It's been a while since I've had any whiskey, so.
Never had one before.
I've had the Emerald Fusion, but that was ages ago. But I've never tried this.
This is soft spice, but it's sweet. It's really fragrant.
It is. It reminds me of almost like some bourbon note characteristics in there.
Mmm.
Yeah.
So possibly a heavy char on the barrel? Do they actually say what kind of barrels?
This one's just bourbon cast, I think.
And there's something there that's annoying my nose.
On your nose. Is it a good tickle on the nose?
No, it's burning up the nose.
Well, don't sniff it so much.
But there's a richness there.
Yeah, similar to like I said a bit before, like it's in a bourbon. You've got that rich kind of bourbony coconut sweetness.
There's something almost barbecue.
Barbecue? Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking more of like a sweet marinade.
I get almost like a wine fish, like a white wine.
Mmm.
It's different though, isn't
There
it?
could almost be a hint of a port cask there, but like very, very, very subtle. All right, going in.
Going in. All right.
Going in.
Woo-woo.
Very peculiar taste.
A little bit of warmth, and it softens off into a real rich, syrupy toffee.
Still with a bit of oak.
Mm.
Different, isn't it?
Very different. Very peculiar.
I don't mind it. It's different. But yeah, for a single
That's
malt,
nice.
it is, isn't it?
That's nice. There's something grassy. I don't want to say hay because it's not really dried.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What are you getting out of it?
I don't know. Very mixed.
Got you complexed.
Yeah, it has.
I actually kind of like the fact that it's a little tricky
different,
to
yeah.
nail down those flavours.
I do too. I mean, I remember when I had this on the live stream for the 24-hour World of Whiskey. I had it with naan bread.
Well,
And it
kind of have to.
and it paired well.
Could even go down well with a nice curry.
Yeah. I would have this with
Oh,
it.
actually, this with a butter chicken now. Think about it.
No, I think with the curry, I like the idea with the curry because this has that kind of bourbon. It's a very mild bourbon characteristic, but it is there. And I like it. It's kind of sweet, and I reckon it'd go well with the curry. Just that nice
Tastes
little bit
real
of sweetness.
rummy. Tastes like a spiced rum.
It does have that kind of rum brandy, like that. What I was thinking of, what was like a wine. It's got something similar to that. It's kind of unique.
Like a dry sherry?
Sugarcane. Raw sugarcane.
Ah, well, they do the molasses. Maybe it's the sugar thing. But this is a single malt.
Yeah.
And they do use pot stills. They're all traditional pot stills. So, I mean, the other stuff might not be, but this Rampur is pot still. Single malt pot still.
I like it.
It is. It must be the grain they're using or something. Because it's
very unique.
It's very unique.
And I think you could, like, in a blind, you could almost be.
Oh, I'd be complex.
You could almost call it as a bourbon.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. You'd think this would be some obscure boutique kind of bourbon. Yeah.
And so I'm actually thinking that there might be to give it that bit more richness, and let's face it, there's a bit of depth to the colour, so maybe it is a heavier char on the barrel.
I don't know, because I'm not getting that heavy char on the, on the palate.
Yeah.
I'm getting more of that sweet vanilla and slight cherry. But it's got that lovely light wood finish, like a. I don't know.
It's a nice balance between the richness that's there in that sweet, but there's still some freshness to it as well.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Wait, you want water?
Yeah. Oh.
We probably should.
Yeah. I'm interested to try their other stuff because they've got a few other expressions for this Rampur.
Yeah.
I'd be super keen to try some. This is the only one I've seen on the shelf, but I want to chase some more out of it.
Actually, didn't we have this at one of our little whiskey club nights a couple of years back? Or am I thinking of something else? Because remember one of the guys bringing something Indian along, or was that a Kavalan?
No, we had the Kavalan. I think you might be right, because
looks familiar.
I do remember looking at that with the 15-gun salute, and I thought, oh yeah. No, I like it.
Getting a bit more of that grassy with a bit of water.
I haven't had any water yet. Did that go down the wrong hole, did it?
No, it's like a real big whack in the face.
Was it good? You haven't said you haven't liked it, but you're just like complexed by it. There is like a perfume kind of note to it, isn't there?
There's something very aromatic there.
Yeah. It's
a hint of spice about it.
Well,
and the water hasn't really thinned out that richness in it.
Definitely not.
It's taking a little of the pepperiness away.
Yeah, it's got some real cool notes of, like you say, aromatic.
It's not one of those ones that you just want to sit and smell. It gets to it like like the nose is really enjoyable, but then it's sort of like, okay, I need to taste this now. Whereas there's others that you can just sit and smell and smell and smell and smell and smell and smell.
So with the water, when I first put it on the palate, I thought, oh, okay, this is thinned up a bit. And then, wait a minute, it was like juicy and fresh. It was like a fresh.
It's almost like it's
like a juicy apple, real juicy.
Adding a little water has just slowed it down. So rather than getting a big burst, it eases it in, but it's still really flavoursome.
Yeah, and I like the finish. It hangs around that weird aromatic wood finish. It sits on. It's like when you've had some real good spices and stuff from a good curry, and it hangs around on the palate, but not overpowering. It's just nice and soft. I'm glad I grabbed it. I like it. It's different.
Really, really, really soft. Like a classic, like a caramelized apple tart almost in that.
Oh, like an upside down apple cake.
Yeah, there's
And you have all the nice
cloves,
gooey.
cloves and cinnamon and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what, the
spicy.
spice and but that sweetness at the same time and that
Yep,
richness.
Mm.
I think you'd happy sitting on that for a while.
I like that
And
juicy
it's-
freshness.
Hey, look, just thinking about that
Wow,
some
that's
more
good.
too, you could quite easily, because of that richness and that almost bourbon-esque element that it has, you could either switch to a nice big bold bourbon from this, or you could go from this to something with a good punch of peat without.
Or just malt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones you can go any direction
You
from
can.
this.
You can. Yeah,
You could go from this to light and fresh and not be disappointed.
Yep.
So it's a real good sort of
In the middle.
mid-range, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I think this is a good one for a Scotch drinker to have a go at, and for a bourbon drinker to have
Absolutely,
a go at. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I think it's got a very, very broad appeal.
Yeah. It's got so much going on there. That's a little bit for everybody.
So yeah, you bourbon guys out there, track this one down for sure.
Yeah.
Give it a go. You won't be disappointed, I feel.
So, how much would you pay for this at your local establishment of whiskey vendor type peoples?
A local spirits emporium.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, I can't remember actually really taking notice of the price whenever I've seen it on the shelf, but I'm thinking it's 100, 110.
100, 110. What would you like to pay for it?
Me?
$20.
Yeah, I was going to say, ran that off to a
Thinking
reasonable
about
price.
I'm saying closer to maybe 150.
150? You reckon because of the complexity and stuff and what's going on, and it's Indian and all that stuff? Well, you'd be pleasantly...
Well, I'm thinking India mass production, probably not that expensive, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm actually over.
well,
in saying 100 to 100.
it's floating around $95.
Nice.
Yeah,
Splendid.
I know, right?
That's good bang for buck.
Yeah. Single malt, not too full of natural colour.
Huh?
ABV would be...
43?
Yeah.
46 would be nice.
46
43
would-
is still good.
Yep. NAS too.
NAS, batch number,
Yep.
complex, likes a bit of water.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, out of 10 then.
8.
Oh, you don't like it that much then?
Well, easy 9 for me.
I quite like this. I'm going to give it a 9.25. I don't mind it. $95, single malt. It's an Indian. It's
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I think
Awesome presentation.
And like, if this was your first ever Indian whiskey, I think it's a good one to convince you to try a few more as well.
Oh, I've had the Amroots, which I don't mind, but I've never tried the Rampur, and this one makes me want to explore some of the other stuff that they're producing.
Yeah, I'd be real curious with you saying they do a PX cask. I really want to.
Yeah, me
have
too.
a go at that.
Yeah. Me too. That's the one I looked at and went, ooh, that could be interesting. Especially being up in India, which short maturation, and that's really going to be flexing in and out of that cask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
They do anything peated?
Ooh. I know what we're doing in the next 5 minutes.
We're going to do some Googling.
So yeah, if you've never had Rampur or any other Indian whiskey, I think it's well worth jumping into your local bottle shop and grabbing a bottle and see what you think of it, because I don't mind it.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'd buy a bottle.
Yep, I did.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, we know that one.
Until next time.
Have
Have a good one. There is the afterthought of their peat and stuff maybe having an element of cow shit to it, but who cares?